Welcome to the semi-final game at the Carp Shootout. We've got the East Hants Nova Scotia Mastodons as the home team for this game, as they lost the undefeated game last night. And the visitors will be the Grand Valley Expos, who just defeated the Kingston Axemen for the right to advance to the semi-final. Your lineups for Grand Valley: playing right field, leading off Dakota Bruce. The catcher, Jordan Balmer. Center fielder, Kyle Hunter. The shortstop, Michael Fuller. Pitching, Luke Zettel. In left field, Dustin Bell. At second base, Curtis Root. At third base, Jackson Will. Designated player, Brody Hunter. And the flex, not batting, Riley Capalbo. Pitching for the Mastodons, David Watson. His first pitch on Dakota Bruce's ball. Thanks for welcoming me back to the booth, Ryan.
Nice to have you back from the Octogenarian Music Festival down in Kempville.
Indeed it was.
Hopefully you had a good time. We missed you last night.
I was streaming the game live from the mosh pit, which involved walkers and wheelchairs. Strike one on Bruce.
Missed a good one this morning between the Kingston Axemen and Grand Valley Expos. Grand Valley mercied Kingston 9-2 after 6. Bats opened up for them, and here they are trying to climb their way all the way to the championship game.
Just 2 strikes on Bruce. So Watson and the Mastodons will be well rested, whereas the Expos are going back-to-back with a hope to go back-to-back-to-back.
Just asked David Watson how his ankle was doing, because he did tweak it last night on a great jumping stab and throw to first base in the game against the Twins. He said it's fine and he'll be good to go, so hoping to pitch his team into the final.
Full count pitch to Bruce is well up, and that's a leadoff walk for Dakota Bruce.
Bruce seeing the ball well today, Adam. He had a great game in the 10 o'clock with a couple of singles and runs scored.
So that brings Jordan Balmer, the catcher, to the plate. Winner of this game advances to the final against the Mixburg Twins. Start time for that should be about 2 p.m.
See if Balmer squares. He will. He misses.
So if you're just joining us, you haven't missed much. Second batter of the game, the first batter walked. Top of the first inning, David Watson. Sack bunt attempt is foul, so that's 0-2 to Balmer. Your officials for this semifinal matchup: Sarajev Jacobs on the plate, Mark Trepanier is at first base, and Brad Weiss has got third covered.
We're going to try and do it the old-fashioned way. Bruce just in there. Adam beats the throw by half a step. And that favorable backstop here again for catchers and Carp.
It's a good toss by Patrick Stewart there. So 1-2 on Balmer. Watson rocks, fires, delivers. That's fouled down the third base line into the stands.
Young fan tracking that one down for us.
Count still 1-2 on Balmer. Watson's pitch. Smashed through the 5.5 hole there to put runners on the corners. Balmer advances Bruce to third base with a single.
Good job by Braden Woodworth to get that one in. I thought they were going to send Dakota Bruce. They held him with nobody out. Runners at first and third.
I guess Coach Steve Fuller being a little conservative there and waiting for Kyle Hunter to do a job. And bring
Given
him
the
in.
game he had this morning, Adam, that's probably the right call. He had an absolute no doubt two-run bomb in the top of the first, or sorry, bottom of the first for the Expos in the 10 o'clock game.
No pickleball players were injured in the outdoor rink?
No, we did check on that and no casualties.
Watson's first pitch. Swung on and missed by Hunter. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Expos trying to start early in the top of the first. That pitch also swung on and missed. Hunter's now down 0-2.
Once again, Adam grounds crew done a great job keeping this diamond in great shape.
That's up a little bit for ball one. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Hunter. Looking to change the score of this game early. Watson fires. Swing is checked. Gets away from Stewart.
Bomber scampers down to second.
Two in scoring position now for Hunter. 2-2 count. Watson's pitch. Sprayed foul into the tennis court.
See a fan scampering there, Adam. Has come back to a story about that.
2-2. Watson's pitch. Well up in the zone. It's a full count now to Hunter.
Senior U15 or U16 Canadian Championships out at the Nepean Sportsplex, and every foul ball that a fan brought back, they got a piece of gum. Kids were scurrying everywhere to bring those foul balls back.
That's down and away. That loads the bases. Good start for the Expos. Bases loaded. None out. Bringing up the cleanup hitter, Michael Fuller.
So Watson in a bit of a jam. The infield in, hoping to cut any balls in play off and come home to catcher Patrick Stewart for the force out.
That one skips in for ball one. Pressure's on here. Watson trying to get the first out of the inning in the top of the first. And that stroke to the gap in left center. Runners hesitated just to make sure the ball wasn't caught, so only one scores. And that's an
held up at
RBI
third
for Michael Fuller.
Again, I think nobody out. Adams, great decision. Watson struggling to find the zone at times here in the first, and that'll bring Luke Zettel to the plate.
So again, bases loaded, nobody out, this time with a run on the board for the Grand Valley Expos here in the top of the first. Zettel chops one back, foul.
Zettel had a single and a run scored in the game this morning, helping his team to that 9-2 victory over the Kingston Axemen. Changeup misses, I think, outside.
Evens the count at 1-1. Infield in again, just as they were for the previous batter. Swung through and missed. It's now 1-2 to Zettel. Watson gets the sign from Stewart. Pauses, delivers, and that's swung through for the first out of the inning, a strikeout.
Dustin Bell had himself a game this morning, Adam. On base 3 times, scored 3 times. Had a big 3-run shot in the 3rd inning to really pull the doors open for the Grand Valley Expos against the Axemen.
So with 1 out and the bases loaded, Bell's going to try to keep his hot bat going. Catches the outside corner for strike 1. Watson didn't catch the corner that time, a bit too far outside. That evens the count at 1-1. So 1 out, bases loaded. Expos have scored in the top of the first to take a 1-0 lead. Dustin Bell trying to change that 1 to a crooked number here. Swung on and missed for strike 2. It's 1-2 now.
Watson looking to settle in and get his 2nd out of the inning.
It's up a little high. Bell doesn't bite. Evens the count at 2-2. Watson using that tacky Gorilla Grip rag that most pitchers use nowadays. Making sure he can get the proper grip and spin on the ball. Watson, 2-2 pitch. That's up and out. Count's now full.
Nowhere to put him, Adam.
Yeah, nowhere to put him. 1 out. Bases loaded, full count. It's early on in this game, but this is an important pitch, Ryan.
Grand Valley looking to extend this 1-0 lead. Watson looking to get out of trouble.
It's down and away. It's the 3rd walk of the inning, and it scores a run. It's now 2-0 for the Grand Valley Expos. So Curtis Root comes to the plate. He's playing 2nd today. There's 1 out and bases continue to be loaded.
He also had a base hit and a run scored in the game this morning. And Watson, as he struggles to find the zone here in the first.
First pitch is called ball 1.
Still has the bases loaded, Adam, and just the 1 retired. 2 runs in.
Designated player Brody Fraser already warming up in the bullpen for the Mastodons. That's fouled off Stewart's mask. Seems to be okay. We commented yesterday, Ryan, Stewart's one of the few catchers that doesn't wear a chest protector. Might be the only one at this tournament this weekend.
The only one I've seen. Nick McGrain did take one off the chest yesterday evening.
Pitch is swung on and missed by Root.
He was glad to have been wearing that chest protector when he took that foul ball.
Yeah, it used to be pretty common. A lot of guys didn't wear one, but now that trend has changed. So Root, he's got a couple strikes on him here. That pitch is swung on and missed for Watson's 2nd strikeout of the inning. So with 2 out, Jackson Wills coming up. Bases loaded with 2 out. The infield's going to move back a little bit, give themselves some room just to make a play at the closest base. 2 runs across so far for Grand Valley. That's on 3 walks and 1 hit. 2 hits, excuse me. Watson looking to get his team into the hut. Strike 1 swung on and missed by Will. One pitch. That must have been up a little bit. That's ball 1. 1-1 now to Will.
Watson looking to get out of trouble here, Adam, on the top of the first after giving up 2 runs. And a great play by Mike Wood again at first base.
So a nice play on the line drive to end the inning. That could have easily scored 2, maybe even 3. So Watson gets out of it. There were 2 runs scored on 2 hits.
After the half inning,
3 men left on base. Score is Grand Valley 2, East Hants coming to bat. So we're back here in Carp for the bottom of the first inning of the semifinal of the Carp Shootout. Winner of this faces the Micksburg Twins. Following this game, we've got the East Hants Mastodons coming to bat. They're down 2-0 after the top of the first. So the East Hants lineup, for those of you wondering what their order is, the leadoff is Kobe Kroll. He's playing center field. Robin Sears at short. Rowan Sears, excuse me. Thank you. It's Sears. At short. Patrick Stewart's catching. Brody Fraser, the designated player. It's fouled off by Kroll. Jake Hopewell's playing second. Aaron Harvey is playing third. Braden Woodworth's in left. Mike Willis is in right. And Mike Wood, who just made a great catch on a line drive, is playing first base. David Watson has the ball, but he's not hitting for the Mastodons. So the pitcher for Grand Valley is Luke Zettel. He's had a pretty decent tournament so far, Ryan.
He certainly has, and Grand Valley got a great start out of Riley Capalbo this morning, who spun a gem for them to take that 9-2 victory and get them into this game. And now it's Zettel's turn with the ball. See if he can propel them into the final.
So it's 2-1 on Kroll. Chops one foul. Mastodons will want to respond to that 2-run inning by the Expos in the top.
And our thoughts go out to our Nova Scotia viewers. Lots of flooding there. I was talking with Coach Hopewell. He said their community's okay, but right next door, they in a little bit of a different spot, and 300 mils of rain. So hopefully everyone in Nova Scotia is doing okay, and thoughts are with you.
Kroll's got a full count here. Leadoff batter for the Mastodons in the bottom of one. He skies one foul. Veteran pitcher and softball fan Lenny Berger with the do-rag on over there, protecting himself.
I did see Lenny here for the morning game as well.
That's stroked up the middle for a solid single for Kroll. Gets things started for the Mastodons.
Coming up to bat, shortstop number 12, Rowan Sears.
Bringing Sears up. Checks down with Coach Hopewell for the sign. See what sort of instructions he gets here, Ryan.
Kroll's got some wheels at first, so they may have a couple of different options. Though Bomber has a good arm back there.
Sears shows bunt, pulls it back, but it's a called strike.
I think he had one, maybe two caught stealing in the first game this morning. The rare left-handed catcher.
Sears doesn't show bunt this time, lets that pitch go. It's 1-1. Rowan shows bunt this time, but fouls it back. It's a 1-2 count to Sears. Just going to want to move Kroll some way here. Saddle pauses, fires. It's fouled off again by Sears.
Good battle here by Sears with Kroll on first. Looking to move him up the base paths and, as you said, respond to that Grand Valley top half of the first.
Called strike 3 on Sears for the first out of the inning.
Catcher number 10, Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart here at bat now with one on and one out. Bottom of the first. Took one off the face mask there last inning, but doesn't seem any worse for wear. That's pushed foul. Strike one on Stewart. Beautiful day here in Carp for the Shootout, first annual event. That's driven right through the wickets. Kroll stops at second on that hard hit liner. Or grounder, sorry, up the middle.
Coming up to bat, designated player number
Zettel did a
7,
good job
Brody
getting out of the way of that one.
I believe that might have left a mark if that would have hit
I
him.
believe it would have. He tried to get a glove on it as it went by, but great piece of hitting by Stewart to go back up the middle.
Hunter was on that quickly, so Kroll wasn't able to move past second base. So 2 on, 1 out for the designated player, Brody Fraser. That's strike one for Zettel. I believe Fraser would be their next option for pitching, Ryan, for the Mastodons.
Yes, he's come in a couple times. Excuse me. He has come in a couple times, started a game. He's done well for the Mastodons so far this weekend.
So that's up out of the zone. Fraser checks up. That's 1-1. That catches the outside corner for strike 2. Zettel delivers. That's swung on, foul tip, squeezed by Bomber for the second out of the inning.
To that second baseman, number 55, Jake Hopewell.
So that brings Jake Hopewell to the dish. 2 on and 2 outs. They're going to use the 2-out catcher rule to give Stewart a break between innings.
Hopewell with some power. A monster shot yesterday. And has played solidly defensively at second base for the Mastodons.
Leaves that pitch down for ball 1.
East Hants looking to at least cash one of these base runners.
Inside dipper, tough pitch to hit. Strike 1. It's 1-1. Men on first and second for East Hants with 2 out. That's fouled back directly for strike 2. Settle, rocks and fires. Skips that one in. That gets away from Bomber. And the runners will advance 60 feet. Both now in scoring position for Hopewell.
60 feet, about twice as far as that pitch went. So I think Zettel lost his grip on that one.
So a well-placed single could tie this game. Hopewell fouls another one off. That one, I thought the rule was what goes up must come down. The laws of gravity being defied here in Carp. To be stuck up in the screen somewhere. In any event,
Hopewell looking to cash these 2 runners from second and third.
Nice play by Jackson Will to get the out and erase the threat. So despite the 2 hits by East Hants, they're unable to respond. And after 1 complete inning, the score is the Grand Valley Expos 2, the East Hants Mastodons no score.
At the bottom of the inning, Nova Scotia, 2 hits.
And we're back here, Adam. Just if you see in the bottom left of your screen, David Watson's warm-up pitch. Let's knock the camera a bit here, so after this half inning, we'll try and get that sorted for you.
So we got Brody Hunter coming to the plate. He's the designated player for Grand Valley. Sees ball 1 on the opening pitch. Hunter was 2 for 3 in the quarterfinal game and scored a run on had a pair of doubles as well. Takes strike 1 on the inside corner. Grand Valley put up 2 runs on 2 hits and 3 walks in the previous inning. Hunter leaves that up. Ball 2. out of the zone for ball 3. Watson had some challenges walking players in the first inning, and would imagine does not want to walk another here to start off the second. But on a high pitch, he does indeed walk Hunter. So Hunter's on first.
Right fielder, number 5, Dakota Bruce.
Dakota Bruce now at the plate. He walked and stole a base last inning and ended up scoring on a RBI single by Michael Fuller. So nobody out for Bruce. Watson. Bruce shows bunt. Displeased with himself for not getting it down. Strike 1. Looks back to Coach Fuller for the sign to see if he's given instructions to try it again. Every run is important in a semifinal matchup like this. Pitches up a bit, he pulls back, so now the count's even at 1-1.
I've seen a lot of players struggle to get that sack bunt down this weekend. Bit of a lost skill, I'll say, in men's fast pitch softball.
That's up and out too. Third baseman Harvey doing it old school, coming in right in tight down the third base line to protect against that bunt.
May have a play at second if he is able to field it cleanly.
That catches the outside corner, so if he bunts now and fouls it off, that's an automatic out. 2-2. We'll see what instructions he's given. Watson fires. Bruce checks his swing. He's rung up on that check swing as strike 3. Umpire Trepanier down the first base line decided he had gone around sufficiently for the first out of the inning. Brings up the catcher, Jordan Balmer.
Number 14, Jordan Balmer.
Jordan had a single last inning and scored on the walk, bases loaded walk to Dustin Bell. So there's 1 out. Hunter's on first, Balmer at the dish here. Fouls 1 off to start. Watson delivers a pitch, and that's stroked to center field by Balmer, but camped under easily by Kyle Hunter to make the second out.
Watson looking to work his way around a leadoff walk to Brody Hunter. Retired the next 2 and looks to retire Kyle Hunter for the first time he reached on a walk back in the first.
So Hunter's up to base. I've got my center fielders confused there. Sorry about that. That was Colby Crowell that made that catch, of course, for the Mastodons. And Hunter's now at base for Grand Valley.
I think Stewart and Watson wanted that changeup. Thought it dropped in, and the plate umpire didn't agree, so a little frustration on the Mastodons' part.
Get that call, strike 1. Watson rocks and fires. Swung on and missed. It evaded Stewart's glove, but bounced back quickly. So Brody Hunter did not advance from first. So back to Kyle Hunter here at bat. 2 out. Man on first. Swings through that. That's the 3rd out of the inning. Ends the threat. So after a opening walk, Hunter gets out of the inning with a flyout and 2 Ks. After 1.5 innings, the Grand Valley Expos lead 2-0 over the East Hants Mastodons. So back here in Carp for the bottom of the second inning with East Hants coming to bat. Down 2-0. Zettel misses out of the zone there on his first pitch to the third baseman Aaron Harvey. Zettel fires. That's fouled. Grand Valley player running over to protect a couple of young kids who were playing catch and foul.
Riley Capalbo showcasing the wheels there, Adam.
Good for him for looking after those kids. Harvey tips that foul.
Bomber took that one in the face mask as well, so. One apiece, I guess, for Bomber and Patrick Stewart as the ball comes back in.
Swung on and missed by Harvey for the first out of the inning. That's Zettel's third K so far. That brings Braden Woodworth to the plate, the left fielder for the Mastodons. He'll look to get things going for the Nova Scotia team here at the semi-final at the Carp Shootout. Tips that foul back to the screen. Strike one. Mastodons had 2 hits in the first inning, but were unable to score a run. Woodworth pops that up. Straightaway center. Catch made by Kyle Hunter, and that's the second out of the inning for the Mastodons. So Mike Willis, the right fielder, now coming up.
Coming up to that, right fielder, number 3, Mike Willis.
First pitch called a strike. Zettel fires. It's up a little bit. That's ball one. East Hants Mastodons made the long trip from Nova Scotia to Carp, which is near Ottawa, if you're not familiar with the location. That ball is thrown away. A little dribbler up the middle. So an error lets Mike Willis get on base.
To bat, first baseman, number 6, Mike Wood.
So Mike Wood coming to the plate now. He's the 9 hitter for the Mastodons with a 2 out. Willis on first. Wood, guy that made a real nice play at first base on a screamer in the first inning to stop the bleeding. He chops one. Oh, another miscue. The young lad has to be held back, the bat boy. He's very keen to get the bat. Good move by the coach there to hold him back. So that went off Will's glove at third, went over to Fuller at short, but they were unable to make the play. So the runners are now on the corners for the top of the order. Kobe Kroll.
Jay Duffy doing a good job holding the bat boy back. I gave him a shout out yesterday, asked him his name, and I've completely forgotten it already. As my wife will attest to, I'm terrible with names, Adam. But I will find out his name and give him another little shout out. He's done a great job here for the Mastodons all weekend.
So a big chance here for the Mastodons to capitalize on some errors. That's a pitch that gets by Bomber, and that will score. Mike Willis chopped the lead in half. Wood wisely advances to second base. It's now a 2-1 game. It looks like Bomber and Zettel got to get on the same page here. They might have had cross signs there, Ryan.
It is tough sometimes. Make sure everyone's on the same page. When you do have a runner on second at this level, you need multiple signs. As players will do their best to relay the pitch call to their teammate at the plate. I've seen it a few times this weekend.
Zettel fires. Crowell takes that. Strike one. So an opportunity here to tie the score with East Hants down 2-1 to the Expos. Kroll
gets a hold of that one.
That is launched.
Kroll with a no-doubter into diamond 2, lands near second base. A monster shot. Puts the East Hants Mastodons up 3-2.
So we just went from an inning where Zettel was out of it with 3 up, 3 down, a costly error, and now the game, complexion of the game has changed as the Mastodons are up 3-2 on the Kroll 2-run shot. So Rowan Sears now at the plate. There's 2 out.
Kobe Kroll demonstrating some power there in the leadoff spot. Puts his Mastodons ahead. So Zettel will try and dial it back in here and get his Grand Valley team back on the sticks.
Leaves that down for a ball. Zettel looking to end this inning so they can get back on the bats. That's hit to left field, but tracked down by Dustin Bell, and that ends the inning. But 2 costly errors and a 2-run shot now have the East Hants Mastodons up 3-2 after 2 complete. Back in Carp for the top of the 3rd inning at the Carp Shootout, the semi-final game. The winner of this to advance to play the Mixburg Twins for the title. It's a 3-2 game now with the Mastodons putting up a 3 spot in the bottom of the 2nd. Grand Valley looking to respond. Michael Fuller, the shortstop, is at bat.
In a game that looked like it could get out of hand here. The base is loaded and 2 runs already in. Mastodons now find themselves ahead 3-2. And Grand Valley needing to rally.
Fuller swings through that for strike 1. Watson's pitch is fouled off by Fuller, who's down 0-2 in the count. Watson pauses, fires, and that's swung through by Fuller on that rise ball. So that's 1 out for Grand Valley. Luke Zettel now coming to the plate. That was the 5th K so far for Bubba Watson for Nova Scotia. Trying to now strike out his counterpoint part in the pitching circle, but that's not going to happen because that ball is smashed over the left center fence, well into diamond 2, and that evens the score.
Zettel first pitch swing there. Gets a hold of that rise ball and ties things up here between the East Hants Mastodons and Grand Valley Expos. What a game we got underway here, Adam.
Back and forth over the short time that it's been played. So Zettel making a statement there that not only is he a very good pitcher, he's a good hitter. So Dustin Bell coming up, hoping to match that. There's one out for him in this tie game. Watson fires one in there for strike one. He hits one directly up the middle, just outside the outstretched glove of Watson. And that's back-to-back hits for the Grand Valley Expos.
Coming up to bat, second baseman number 8, Curtis Root.
Curtis Root's coming up now for the Expos.
See what coach has on here with runner on first and one away.
Ball's down and out for ball one.
Root not squaring on that one.
Fraser's back up in the bullpen for the Mastodons. Bunt straight back to Watson, who makes the play. Hopewell covering second, so the sack bunt advances Bell to second base.
Coming up to bat, third baseman number 6, Jackson Will.
So now there's two out, man on second for the third baseman, Jackson Will. He hit a screamer down the first base line, which was well played by first baseman Mike Wood back in the first. That was with the bases loaded. That is what we call our run saver, Ryan.
At least two would have come in at him, and if not three, as you said, if that got down into the corner, they were not shading him to push the ball at the time, so
Will looks at strike one.
Mike certainly saved a couple.
He did indeed. Pitch is up a little bit. That's ball one. Now 1-1 to Will. Bell on second base. Single here could regain the lead for the Grand Valley Expos. Off-speed pitch is ball two. Grand Valley got off to a 2-0 lead in the top half of the first. Mastodons responded with 3 in the bottom half of the second, and a solo shot by Luke Zettel evened the score. It's down. It's ball 3.
Bell getting a good jump off second here. If anything gets through, I think he'll be coming around and attempting to score.
It's a called strike. Counts now full. Jackson Will looking for a base hit or a ball 4 to keep this inning going for the Expos. Watson pauses, delivers. That's swung through for strike 3 to end the inning. That's 6 Ks now for Watson, and one of the biggest ones that he's had so far. Game's now tied 3-3 on the solo shot by Luke Zettel.
Okay, at the top of the
We'll be
third,
coming back soon with the bottom of the third inning.
hits, 0.
So back here in Carp for the bottom of the third inning at the Carp Shootout semi-final game. Tie game right now with the East Hants Mastodons from Nova Scotia and the Grand Valley Expos from Southern Ontario. Tied 3-3. Patrick Stewart, the catcher, is coming up. He singled in the first. He's hoping to start things off again for the Mastodons. Fouls one back to the screen. Saying a little earlier that Mastodons made the trip from Nova Scotia here to Carp in the Ottawa area. They're members of the Shooters Fast Pitch League, which I see a lot about on Twitter. It looks like a great league with some young talent out in Nova Scotia. It's a called strike on Stewart. Doesn't appear to agree with that call.
Stewart, maybe a little frustrated with the inconsistency of the strike zone here. Maybe thinking he's not getting that call, and Zettel is.
Fouls another one back.
Got me moving at him.
Indeed. So it's still 0-2 to Stewart. Choked up a little bit here, hoping to punch something out on the grass, I would imagine. That's skipped in by Zettel for ball one. Nice day here in Carp. Zettel's hand might be a little bit sweaty and lost his grip on that one, to be sure.
Beautiful day for ball. Maybe a little bit more of a breeze the players would appreciate, but certainly sunny and warm.
It's chopped foul off the Stewart in the batter's box.
Stewart looking to win this battle here.
Foul pop-up caught by Jackson Will over on the third base side for the first out of the inning.
Coming up to bat, designated player number 7, Brody Fraser.
As I mentioned, the wind, I'm sure Jackson happy that there was no breeze on that, and able to get under it.
Fraser looks at strike one. Fouls off a pitch for strike two.
Brody threw well for the East Hants Mastodons yesterday. He's done some damage with his bat as well.
Pitch miss for ball one. Sprayed foul down the third base line. Staying alive. Just joining us this game is the semi-final of the Carp Shootout. The winner of this gets to play the Mixburg Twins immediately following for the title. Pitch is skied to center. Hunter's going back, and that pitch is out. Not too far from the beer tent. And that puts the Mastodons back up in a one-run lead with that solo shot from Brody Fraser.
That one put over the center field fence into the tree there, and as I just finished saying, he'd done well at the plate. And Jake Hopewell has also displayed his power this weekend. See if you can follow that up. The back and forth continues, Adam, between the Grand Valley Expos, the East Hants Mastodons. As you said, battling it out here in the 12 o'clock game to try and punch their ticket into the final against the Mixburg Twins, who saw a dominating performance from Jordan Graham last night with 19 strikeouts against these same East Hants Mastodons. to punch their own ticket straight into the final.
The format with this 6-team event was the 2 first-place teams from each pool played off Saturday night at 9 p.m. with the winner advancing directly to the final and the loser to the semifinal. The other 4 teams, second played third in single elimination bracket, and it was the Grand Valley Expos that made their way through that elimination round to be here in the semifinal.
They were able to eliminate Team Quebec yesterday in the 5 o'clock game over on Diamond 2.
One and 2 pitch by Zettel is swung on and missed by Hopewell for the second out of the inning. That's the 4th K for Zettel in this afternoon's contest. So Aaron Harvey comes to the plate. He's playing third for the Mastodons. He struck out in the second inning. He skies one, shallow right field. Second baseman Curtis Root takes charge, catches the fly ball, and that ends the inning. Brody Fraser's solo shot is the only hit of the inning, and that gave East Hants the lead back again. They're now up 4-3 after 3 complete.
No errors, nobody left on base. Score is 4-3 for Nova Scotia Mastodons. On deck is right fielder, number 5.
Welcome back to Carp, the top of the 4th inning here in the semifinal game between the East Hants Mastodons and the Grand Valley Expos. There's a pitching change now for the Mastodons. The designated player, Brody Hunter, designated Brody Hunter is at bat. The designated player, Brody Fraser, is in to pitch for the East Hants Mastodons.
So we'll get it sorted out.
So Brody Hunter at bat. See strike 1 against Fraser.
Very patient in his last at bat. Able to work a walk.
Ball's in tight. Ball 1. Hunter does get tight to the plate there, but it's judged an inside pitch.
Stewart visibly frustrated with the strike zone right now.
Swung on and missed for strike 2. Be a tight play at first, but he's called out.
Great play by Rowan Sears. That was had to wait on it, and it was in no hurry to get to him, and then he fired it over to Mike Wood to make the out.
So Fraser wins the Brody battle there, bringing the top of the order, Dakota Bruce, to the plate with one out.
He walked in the first inning, stole a base, and scored on a Michael Fuller single.
Just called a strike. Swung on and missed.
Nice off-speed pitch there from Fraser, who has been utilizing it well this weekend. He sits on that one. Adam Hopewell able to get under that little soft liner.
So that's the second out of the inning. Jordan Balmer, the catcher for the Expos, now coming to the plate. He singled in the first and flew out to center in the second. First offering is the ball. For those of you interested in David Watson's stat line, he allowed 3 runs in over 3 innings. There were 4 hits, 4 walks, and he struck out 6. Ball's fouled back over the screen. Fraser delivers. That's swung on and missed.
Again, using that off-speed pitch to his advantage. Hides it well.
Balmer spanks that into the left center gap. That's bounced off the fence. Balmer settles in at second with a double and quickly calls for the 2-out catcher.
Wisely, Kroll did a good job getting to that ball into the gap, relaying it into Sears and holding Balmer at second.
So with the 2-out catcher rule, Dakota Bruce is in to run for Balmer. Probably a pretty good trade speed-wise. As Kyle Hunter comes to the plate, looking to even the score here, as the Expos are down 4-3 in the top of the 4th. Another off-speed pitch there from Fraser, called strike. He does use that off-speed well. Hunter walked in the first, struck out in the second. Holds on that inside pitch for ball 1. Fraser delivers. Swung on and fouled. Just missed by Coach Kent Campbell over there at first. Kent's more of an outfielder, Ryan. Fortunate enough to play Legends softball with him, and he's a very, very good outfielder at the 50-plus level.
Not unlike somebody else I know. See if Fraser can get out of this one here.
That off-speed pitch is smashed deep just to the base of the fence in the right center gap. He's going to try for 3. The throw comes in, and it just bounces off his backside, and he's in with a sliding triple. He just tied the game at 4-4 with that smashed RBI triple. A lot of lead changes and back and forth in this game, Ryan.
Back to shortstop, number 24, Michael Fuller.
So Michael Fuller's up now. He had an RBI single in the first. He struck out in the third. He's looking to get another RBI here to put Grand Valley back in the lead. It's fouled back to the screen.
Good play out there by Willis, I think the relay was by Hopewell, and had Aaron Harvey been able to come up with it, they might have had him at third, but last score is tied, and Fuller looking to see if he can change that.
Pitches.
And he does.
Oh, two diving infielders. Harvey just missed that ball. And Sears just missed that ball. Bounces into left field for another RBI single for Fuller. And that puts the Grand Valley Expos up 5-4. Now the pitcher, Luke Zettel, here at the plate. He launched a homer last time he was at bat, a solo shot. He looks at strike one. Looks like he's agreeing with that one.
Looks like the last couple batters have been sitting waiting for one of those off-speed pitches at him. And see what Stewart and Frazier decide to do with Zettel.
Zettel hits one hard to center. And it's another home run for Luke Zettel. Two-run shot for Zettel this time. Very well struck softball to straightaway center. That's a 4 spot now that the Expos have put up. There's only 2 out, or sorry, there are 2 out. They've combined a double, a triple, a single, and a homer all in a row.
Last 4 batters have all reached and scored for the Expos.
So it's 7-4 now for the Expos after a bit of an explosion off Brody Fraser, who came in on relief duty after Bubba Watson pitched the first 3. So Dustin Bell at the plate. He's 1 for 1. He has a single and a bases loaded walk. He nubs one over to Harvey. It takes a dirty bounce on Harvey.
A lot of side spin on that one, Adam, off the end of the bat there. You know, Harvey frustrated, looking to help his pitcher get out of the inning, but that's a tough play.
Dirty spin on that one, to be sure. Sir Curtis Root now up. He struck out in the first. He had a nice sack bunt in the third. He won't be sack bunting here with 2 out. Fouls one back. Root looking to keep things going. 4 runs already for the Expos and a man on first. That's fouled back. Oh, 2 on Root. Fraser looking to get out of this jam. It's left up for ball 1. The 1-2 pitch. Off speed.
Looked like he had him there, but
it's close.
Blue says it's a ball.
Called ball 2. 2-2. Rung up on the next pitch. Strikes out looking. So that was 4 runs on 4 hits for the Grand Valley Expos in the top of the 4th inning. They retake the lead in a game that's had a lot of lead changes. They're now up 7-4 going into the bottom of the 4th.
Woodward. Mike Willis on deck.
Welcome back to Carp. Semi-final here at the Carp Shootout. The Grand Valley Expos just put up 4 in the top of the 4th to take a 7-4 lead. East Hants looking to respond here. Braden Woodworth, the left fielder, is leading things off for the Mastodons. Swings through the first pitch from Zettel. Zettel having himself a day at the plate and in the pitching circle. 2 home runs for him so far. Zettel now up 0-2 with that called strike on the outside corner. Woodworth flew out to center in his first appearance in the 2nd inning. Leaves that down and away for ball 1. Zettel fires. That's stroked through into left field and a single for Woodworth to lead things off for the Mastodons here in the bottom of the 4th. Brings up Mike Willis. Willis reached on an error in the 2nd inning. Ended up scoring on a passed ball or wild pitch, depending on how one scores it. First pitch is up for ball 1.
Woodworth did a good job pulling his hands in, getting that by diving Michael Fuller to get things started here for the Mastodons. Hoping to answer back after giving up 4 in the top half of the 4th.
Swung on and missed by Willis. Pitch was very close, but called a ball. Settled, pauses, delivers, and that's swung on and missed. Willis took a healthy hack at that one. It's a full count now.
See if they send Woodworth on the full count, nobody out. You never know.
Chokes and strokes it through center. Woodworth looks at his coach, and Coach Hopewell holds him there wisely.
I think Woodworth actually should have kept running. And he might have been given 3rd base on the interference. 3rd base umpire Brad Weiss did have his arm out.
So after back-to-back singles, and nobody out, Mike Woods now at the plate. He also reached on an error in the 2nd. He shows bunt, pulls it back on that rise ball.
That being said, Adam, never a bad decision to stay at 2nd with nobody out and runners at 1st and 2nd.
Settle calls for time. Resets. Settle, fires. Wood shows bunt, pulls it back, but it's a called strike, so that evens the count at 1-1.
Corners charging in, Adam. Middle infielders covering the corners.
See if Coach Chris Hopewell has called for it again. Did not show bunt on that pitch. That's ball 2.
Zettel getting frustrated. That's the 2nd time that the batter seems to have ducked down, changed the eye level of the umpire, and he's not getting the call that he wants.
Shows bunt again, misses it cleanly. So now it's 2-2. Verbal instructions from 3rd base coach. Do it the fun way. So see if Wood can do a job to advance and or score these runners. Hits one, soft fly ball to left. That's easily caught by Dustin Bell for the first out of the inning.
Bell did well there, Adam. He was shading him to pull. He was tracked to his left and got under it.
So with one out and men on first and second, that brings up the leadoff hitter, Kobe Kroll. He singled to lead to start off the first inning, and he hit a 2-run shot in the second. So he's 2 for 2 and swinging a hot bat. Looks at ball one. Settle appearing a little frustrated.
Not really too sure he can figure out what the zone is in terms of where he's going to get a call and where he won't. He wants that one as well.
Ball 2. 2-0 now to Kroll. That's dribbled. Attempted throw, not in time to get the speedy Kroll, who legs out an infield single to load the bases.
Shortstop number 12, Rowan Sears.
So Rowan Sears up now with the bases loaded and only one out. He struck out looking in the first inning and flew out to left in the second.
Sears certainly looking to change his fortunes in this game and the score at the same time. He's
It's
going to do just that.
Right center gap. It's over the right fielder's head. Scores 1. That scores 2. Play the throw at the plate's offline. That scores 3. That's a bases clearing triple for the young Rowan Sears. And stop me if you've heard this before. Game's now tied again.
Catcher number 10, Patrick
And
Stewart.
Patrick Stewart, I don't know if you're able to see that, but he was in there coaching his teammates and took the relay throw from Michael Hunter at short to home plate in the leg. So we'll see if he shakes that off here as he digs in. Yeah, he was just standing here coaching the guys. The relay was offline from Michael Hunter, and he took it in the leg. So game's tied, as you said, once again on that bases clearing triple by Sears.
So with only one out, Stewart's got a chance. Many ways with the speedy Sears on third base to retake the lead for the Mastodons.
He looked okay on that swing too. No worse for wear. Some catchers are tough.
Stewart clubs that through. What a pick by Will. Throw at first, gets him out.
Little look what I found there by Jackson Will at third. Great play, and throws on to first to record the out.
Well struck softball by Stewart, but
Sears thought about going from third on the throw to first, but stayed put. And
so Brody Fraser, who's now in pitching, hits one hard, and a great play.
Michael Hunter goes deep in the hole, throws from his knees, and limits the damage for the Grand Valley Expos on a nice scoop.
So that's 3 out, but 3 runs were scored on that bases clearing triple by Rowan Sears. So now the game is tied 7-7 going into the top of the 5th. So back here in Carp at the Shootout semi-final game, tied 7-7. Jackson Wills coming to the plate. He just made a nice stab at third base
Number 6, Jackson Will.
to save a run. That was followed by Michael Fuller, who made a nice stab at shortstop to save a run. So some good D by the Expos preserved the situation they found themselves in after the bases clearing triple by Rowan Sears.
Got Zettel out of a bit of trouble there. He very happily thanked Michael Fuller. Apologies to Michael for calling him Michael Hunter. I did have a 2 in 9 chance at getting the right last name.
So Brody Fraser delivers an off-speed pitch. He's got a very good off-speed pitch. He's up 0-2 early on Jackson Will. Just tipped foul.
Stays alive on that off-speed pitch once again. I believe I said this yesterday. Frazier not afraid to throw that off-speed in any situation.
Stewart not afraid to call it. Fraser pauses, pitches. It's up and out of the zone for ball one.
I was thinking, Adam, I'm not sure I'd want an all-black uniform on a hot sunny day like today.
Could be hot ones. Pitch called ball two. I also remarked when they first came here that they're the Expos, but sort of colors of the Pirates.
It's true, yes.
2-2 on Will. Hits a soft liner into left. The young fella's on first base to start things off for the Expos.
Looks like the Expos last inning went to school on it, and maybe still going to school on that off-speed pitch, sitting and waiting for it. That's what Jackson Will did just there. Deposited into left field.
So with Will on first, Brody Hunter, the designated player, is coming to bat. He's walked and grounded out to short. Coach Hopewell's coming out to speak with home plate umpire Sarah Jacob. Appears that Coach Hopewell might be discussing the off-speed pitch and how it catches the plate. Some of those may not have been called strikes to his displeasure. Hopewell's made his point. Returning to the bench. Back to toss pitch softball action here at the Carp Shootout. If you're just joining us, the winner of this game plays immediately after against the Micksburg Twins. That game was scheduled for 2 p.m. I do not think we're going to make that time.
There's a good chance we will not be making that 2 p.m. start time.
Hunter shows bunt and pulls it back.
At the pace this is going, we might be closer to 3 p.m. than we are 2 p.m. But the weather looks great, and there's no doubt we'll get the game in.
Fraser delivers. Nice bunt. Picked up by Harvey. Plays made, and the sacrifice is successful, moving Jackson Will to second base.
Fraser did well to cover third base, not allowing Will to make the turn at 2 and race over to third.
So that brings the top of the shop up. Dakota Bruce, he's 0 for 2 with a walk. He'll be looking to change that situation with a hit here to retake the lead for the Grand Valley Expos in this back-to-back game. Despite a relatively on-time start like we were talking about, we're 1:30 now, an hour and a half in. We're just in the top of the 5th. A lot of runs scored so far.
There's also a good chance we may end up tied after 7, Adam, the way this has gone.
Fraser's inside on that for a ball.
Would you correct me if I'm wrong? I believe we would go to the international rule in the top of the 8th.
That's correct.
Controversial rule that was brought into MLB in the extra innings. Those of us in the fast pitch softball community been using it for years, and MLB players and fans alike, not necessarily a rule they appreciate.
Brody Fraser pitches. Gets some of the outside corner for a called strike. It's 2-2 to Dakota Bruce, the leadoff hitter for the Grand Valley Expos. Brody Fraser. Bruce attempts to check his swing. Base ump Brad Weiss says he did. So it's a full count now to Bruce.
Let's see what he comes up with here. Fraser seems to have put the off-speed pitch away.
Pitch is well out of the zone, and Bruce has his second walk of the game. So Jordan Bomber's coming to the plate. He's 2 for 3 today. Single and a double. Scored 2 runs. His other at-bat, he flew out to center. Stewart's decided to go out and chat with the infield. Well, no, just with Brody Fraser.
Maybe, as we discussed earlier, just going over signs, maybe, Adam, make sure they're on the same page.
Make sure that their sequence is correct so that...
especially without that chest protector, yes. Stewart certainly doesn't want to get crossed up.
No. You're speaking about the great weather. The last time you and I were in the booth for a final at the men's under-23 Canadian Championship here in Carp, I believe that game was 3.5 hours with 3 rain delays.
I want to say it was close to 6 hours, Adam, by the time it was completed.
Might have been.
I know it started in daylight and ended in darkness.
The volunteer groundskeeping crew did an unbelievable job to get that field into a state that was playable. So Bomber at the plate. There's 1 out. He's got 2 on. We're in a tie game, 7-7. A trip to the final of the Carp Shootout on the line. Discussions continue about the strike zone.
Again, Stewart visibly frustrated. It's hard for pitchers and catchers when they're just not sure what the zone is.
Fraser pauses, delivers. It's up and out of the zone for ball 2.
A lot of quick dry used last year at that U23 men's Canadians, and as you said, the grounds crew did a great job through multiple rain delays to get that game in and award the Tavistock team the championship.
That's caught by Harvey in foul territory. It's a pop out for the second out of the inning. Brings up Kyle Hunter.
Coming up to bat, center fielder, number 7, Kyle Hunter.
Kyle had a RBI triple last inning and ended up scoring on a single that followed. He's also walked, struck out this game. So there's 2 out, there's men on first and second. We're in a 7-7 tie here in the top of the first. Hunter holds on that, that's ball 1. Swung through for strike 1, evens the count. Fraser had a bit of a rough start in his first inning in relief of David Watson, but he's looking to get a clean one here in the 5th. Fraser's pitch. Hit down first baseline. Wood grabs it foul. It's 1-2 now. Fraser. Ball softly popped up into right. And that's brought in by Mike Willis for the third out of the inning. So despite a walk and a single, no runs were scored by Grand Valley in the top of the fifth. That leaves us at a 7-7 tie going into the bottom of 5. Back with you in Carp. Semi-final game here of the Carp Shootout. A few bucks on the line in this game and some more Canadian dollars on the line in the final for the winners. Winners of this face the Mixburg Twins in the final. We're tied at 7 here, the bottom of the 5th. Jake Hopewell's leading things off for the East Hants Mastodons. He grounded out and struck out in his 2 previous plate appearances. We've got a new thrower here for the Grand Valley Expos. Riley Capalbo now in. He's the flex player, so he actually will be playing defense only. They will not be taking Luke Zettle's bat out of the lineup.
I doubt that after the day he's had at the dish. Capalbo threw well this morning to get the Expos into this game. Hoping to continue that. Propel his team to the championship against the Mixburg Twins.
Hopewell just missed being dotted there with an inside pitch.
Pablo not afraid to throw up and into left-handed hitters. This ball kind of tails a bit.
It's fouled off by Hopewell. Hopewell just outside. Hopewell looking to get things started here for the East Hants Mastodons. He goes down looking. Hopewell starts things off with a K. Bringing up Aaron Harvey. He's had a lot of action over at third base today.
Certainly been busy. Done a good job manning his position.
Fouls one off to start.
See if he can get things started at the dish after going 0 for 2 so far.
Off-speed pitch. Punched over to the left side of the field, and Harvey's on base.
Fuller not quite able to come up with that one. He seems to have gotten to everything else today. That one just evaded him into his glove and not able to come up throwing.
So if you're looking for Luke Zettle's pitching line, he threw 4 innings. He gave up 7 runs. That pitch is driven up the middle by Woodworth. Now men on first and second. So Zettle's pitching line, he threw 4 innings, gave up 7 runs. My books show that 4 of those were earned. He gave up 8 hits. He didn't walk anybody, and he struck out 4. And as discussed, we're pretty sure that he's remaining in the game for his bat because he's had a great day at the plate. So with 2 on and 1 out, Mike Willis is at the bat. He reached on an error in the second, singled in the fourth, scored both times.
Mastodons looking to take that lead back here in the bottom of the 5th, as we discussed. A seesaw game here, back and forth. And they are in business to do so with runners at first and second and only 1 out after back-to-back singles by Harvey and Woodworth.
Albo's pitch, sprayed foul onto Juanita Avenue.
And if Willis is able to continue this inning, super sub Jay Duffy, who, as I've said, has come in and got a pinch hit single in the first game yesterday, and a pinch hit, or a double, sorry. He's got a pinch hit double and a pinch hit single so far this weekend. A bit on the injured list, but hasn't stopped his bat.
Big swing there by Mike Willis. Strike 2. It's 2-2 now. Capalbo in his first inning of work here for the Grand Valley Expos. Trying to work through a couple of base runners on here in a tie game. That's hit back directly to him. He makes a nice pivot to turn and throw over to third base. Jackson Will for the second out of the inning. So Willis is on in a fielder's choice, and we still have runners on first and second.
That change has just been announced by Coach Hopewell, so Jay Duffy will come in to pinch hit for first baseman Mike Wood, and will no doubt, as has been the trend, if he does get on, Mike Wood will re-enter immediately to run for him.
So Duffy, who, as Ryan said, has been a couple of good pitch hitting situations earlier in the game. He watches ball 1, which gets to the screen and allows both runners to move into scoring position. Prime opportunity for a big pinch hit off the bench here. Make a big difference in what's been a really back and forth game. Ball's up, goes over the glove. The bomber. And the speedy Woodworth takes home on the pass ball. Willis moves over to third.
Great heads-up play by Woodworth there to recognize where the ball was ending up on the wild pitch and races home to put the Mastodons ahead 8-7 here in the bottom of the 5th.
So Duffy, the pinch hitter, watches another ball outside. Three-0 count here now to Jay Duffy.
Everyone just making sure there. Batter, catcher, see what the count is.
Wisely so. It's a called strike. 3-1 now to Duffy.
Tough to swing 3-0 at him, but it off at times ends up being the best pitch you see in the at-bat.
That's another wild pitch, but it bounces right back to Capalbo, who's in covering. So Willis stays at third. Duffy reaches on the 5-pitch walk.
And Mike Wood will be re-entering here to run for Duffy, who's come in and done his job to get on base.
So we got runners on the corners. Mike Wood back in the game running. He's at first. Mike Willis is at third. Kobe Kroll's up to bat.
Having himself a day at the plate, Adam.
He's 3 for 3. 2 singles and a homer. Pablo seems to have a little trouble hitting the zone here. It's ball 1. His misses are missing by a lot, and it gives some opportunities for some base runners to advance.
We'll see Willis. He's able to recognize on a potential wild pitch here.
That's it to short. Toss over. And a 6-3 putout ends the inning, but not before these Hants Mastodons scored a run on 2 hits, a walk. They lead 8-7 after 5 complete.
And we're back, top of the 6th, and a back and forth battle between the Grand Valley Expos and the East Hants Mastodons. Brody Frazier, who came in relief of David Watson, and facing shortstop Michael Fuller, who's been busy defensively today, has 2 singles, RBIs, and run scored himself. So as we said, Wood re-enters for Duffy. He's in defensively at his position at first base. Frazier rocks, fires, misses up in the zone. You can see Fuller's uniform just covered in dust as he's been diving balls left, right, and center here all day. Frazier skips that one in. fights that one off. Sears throws offline. Ball got past a diving Aaron Harvey. Sears scooped it, turned through, and just offline enough. Mike Wood did well to come up with it, but not able to apply the tag. And puller is on. So we'll see what Zettel can continue to do here at the plate. 2 for 3 with 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. His last 2 at bats. Pushes that one back up the middle, off Frazier's glove, who deflects it to Hopewell, steps on second, retires Fuller. And Zettel at first after the fielder's choice. So Zettel finally retired. That one's pushed foul down the left field line. Zettel on at first. Bell at the dish. He's walked, singled, and reached on an error today. And looking to change the score for us once again with the Expos down 8-7 in the top of the 6th.
Multiple lead changes in this one for sure. It's been quite something, the back and forth nature of this game. Some key hits and untimely errors have resulted in 15 runs over the course of 5 innings.
See, Frazier goes to the off speed here. Nope. Nobody covering. Rowan Sears late to the party there.
Stolen base appeared to be catch the Mastodons off guard there. Zettel shows his wheels and takes second base. So Bell struck out on that, bringing up Curtis Root to the plate with 2 out. Expos down 8-7. Root looking to tie things up. Pops it foul, out of play.
Back behind us, out of play here. To the count here on Curtis Root. Looking to cash that runner from second and tie this game up as the Expos are down 8-7 in the top of the 6th. And he calls for time.
Pitch is popped up. Ooh, almost a communication issue there, but Jake Hopewell takes charge, catches the soft pop-up. That ends the inning. There's 1 hit, 1 left on, but no runs scored, so Grand Valley remains down 8-7 with East Hants Mastodons coming up to bat in the bottom of the 6th. So we're back in Carp in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Mastodons from Nova Scotia up 8-7 over the Grand Valley Expos from Southern Ontario here in Carp in Eastern Ontario. Semi-final game for the Carp Shootout with the winner to face the Mixburg Twins in the final. Rowan Sears, the leadoff batter, flares one out to left, and that gets by, or to right, excuse me, that gets out by the right fielder. The speedy Sears is at second. Coming into third, standing up, he's held by Coach Hopewell.
That was Rowan Sears, center.
I think that was the right decision there again, Adam. Coach Hopewell, nobody out. Holds him at third. And
Dakota Bruce with the diving stab at it, just missed it. Got back to it quickly, got the ball in, and they held Sears at third. Stand-up triple, his second triple of the game.
Bruce did a good job out there to get up quickly, track it down, and bring the ball in and hold Sears at third for now.
So Patrick Stewart, the catcher, hits one hard to second base. That's an RBI ground out, and that puts the Mastodons up 2 now, 9-7.
A little surprised to not see Grand Valley playing in on that with nobody out and a runner on third, but they concede the run and go down 2.
So with one out, Brody Fraser, who's now pitching, is up. He fouls one off. He started the game as the designated player and came in to pitch when David Watson was removed after 3 innings of work. Fraser homered back in the third, a solo shot. Pitches outside.
I'll give a, oh, we have a chance here, Adam. Quick shout out to friend of the show, Blair Setford, who's enjoying the game from the poolside, he says.
As he should. Ball catches the corner for a strike.
Good to have everybody tuned in here. Those who aren't able to make it. And given the way this game has gone, we are sure to have a wonderful final.
Swung on and missed by Fraser.
That was originally scheduled to start in 2 minutes, but that start time will certainly be pushed.
Yes, with us only being in the bottom of the 6th. Diamond maintenance required between innings. Could be a little bit beyond the projected, scheduled 2 o'clock start. So after Fraser's K, the second strikeout so far for Hobo, brings up Jake Hopewell. He was the original strikeout victim of Capalbo when he came into the game in the last inning in the 5th. That off-speed pitch swung on and missed by Hopewell.
Capalbo, a little more zip on his pitches here. Trying to get his team out of the inning, down only 2. Give themselves a chance in the top of the 7th.
That sprayed foul by Hopewell down the third baseline. So with 2 strikes on him, Hopewell here swings through that for the 3rd strikeout of the game for Capalbo. So that ends the inning, or the 6th inning. The triple and the ground out RBI put the East Hants Mastodons up 9-7 after 6. It'll be up to the Expos to put up at least 2 runs next inning to keep their hopes alive to make it to the final against the Mixburg Twins. Back with us here in Carp. It's the top of the 7th inning in the Carp Shootout semi-final game. The East Hants Mastodons from Nova Scotia up 9-7 over the Grand Valley, Ontario Expos.
Brody Fraser, Adam, looking to come in and earn the win in relief of David Watson. As we've said, push his team into the final immediately following this game against the Mixburg Twins.
That ball is hit out to right field by the young Jackson Will.
Mike Willis tracks it.
He did
Records
indeed.
the out.
So Brody Hunter, the designated player, now at the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a sac bunt.
No shortage of at-bats, Adam, when your number 9 hitter is getting 4 ABs in a game.
This is true.
We'll see if he can get things started for his team once again. Fraser gets the sign, rocks, fires, pitches in there for strike 2. So he's way up in the count, Adam, at 1-2 here. Looking to get the first out of the top of the 7th for the Mastodons.
Waits on that change, drops it into shallow left field, and that's a single. First hit of the game for the designated player, Brody Hunter. Brings it around to the top of the order, Dakota Bruce.
Up to bat, right fielder, number 5, Dakota Bruce.
He's walked twice. Scored in the first. Pitch is down and away for ball 1.
Needing 2 here in the top of the 7th, I'd suspect Bruce will be swinging away and not laying down a bunt.
He's bunting, it's for a hit. Pitch is up and in. A lot of balls in play since Fraser came in to pitch. He's only had 1 walk and 1 hit.
He's done well. They have put up some runs on him, but bend don't break. Let's see if he can close this thing out for East Hants.
So Fraser pauses, fires. That's in tight. 3-1 count now on the leadoff man, Dakota Bruce. Fraser would probably want to avoid trying to get the go-ahead run to the plate. It's fouled off by Bruce. That's a full count now. Grand Valley, not a lot of options for substitutes here, Ryan. They've got 12 men on their lineup card. That's flared out to center. Base hit for Dakota Bruce.
Again, as we've discussed, Dakota Bruce, these Grand Valley players sitting back on this off-speed pitch that Fraser's been utilizing and able to hold the hands back long enough to spray that one into center. And now they're in business with runners at first and second. Coach Hopewell out to have a chat.
So back to what I was saying about the Grand Valley Expos lineup. They've got 12 men on the lineup card, 10 in the lineup itself, and the 2 substitutes are coaches Steve Fuller and Kent Campbell. I know Kent certainly would be able to play if required, but they're not exactly running with a big roster and doing quite well here at the Carp Shootout.
I wondered if Coach Opel might bring David Watson back in there, but looks like the game is in Fraser's hands for the time being.
So Fraser stays in the game, as Ryan said. Jordan Balmer's now at the plate. He's 2 for 4 today. Looks at ball 1 up in the zone. Balmer's had a long day at the park catching. The game before this. If Grand Valley comes back to win it, I suspect he may be back behind the dish once again. Swings through that for strike 1.
As you say, that's part of having the short bench. Catcher's got to go the whole way. As he swings and misses at that one.
So up 1-2 in the count now. Fraser looking to retire the second out of this top of the 7th. East Hants up 9-7, but 2 runs on and the go-ahead run at the plate here for the Grand Valley Expos. That pitch is lifted out into right. Willis makes the catch and runs it in.
Brody Hunter firmly planted on second base there.
Didn't move an inch.
Center fielder, number 7, Kyle Hunter.
So Kyle Hunter has got the game on his shoulders here with 2 on, 2 out. His team down 2 runs.
He's certainly able to do some damage.
He had an RBI triple earlier in the game, and he walked in the first. Fraser fires, catches the outside corner for strike 1.
See if he can tap into some of that power he demonstrated in the morning game.
Lifts it. Right field again. And Mike Willis made every out of that inning. So that ends the ball game. The final score, the East Hants Nova Scotia Mastodons 9, the Grand Valley Ontario Expos 7. Your winning pitcher is Brody Fraser in relief. He let in 4 runs, 7 hits. Walked 8 hits, excuse me. Walked 1, struck out 1 in relief of David Watson, who allowed 3 runs on 4 hits, 4 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Your losing pitcher is Riley Capalbo in relief. He allowed 2 runs on 3 hits, walked 1, and struck out 3. Starting pitcher for the Grand Valley Expos was Luke Zettel, who let in 7 runs on 8 hits. He didn't walk anybody, and he struck out 4. He also hit 2 homers to help his cause. So that sees East Hants advancing to the final in a rematch against the Mixburg Twins of last night's game, which the Twins won 4-0. And that game will be coming up approximately, what do we say, Ryan?
I'd say 20 to 25 minutes.
20 to 25 minutes, so we encourage you to tune in to watch the final game of the inaugural Carp Shootout. Thanks, and see you then.